We want to make sure that what we have matches what the IRS has. As Dan mentioned, you never want to confuse or ignore the IRS.
It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Is there a time? Is it just like a, hey, switch whenever, because why wait another day? Or is it like, hey, probably switch at quarter end or at year end if you're already on a payroll system? Is there a rhyme or a reason to when somebody should switch payrolls?
Yeah, great question, Dan. And nice to meet everyone. The easiest time of the year to switch in terms of the amount of data that the IRS asks for is at the beginning of a new quarter. So they use the standard quarter system, January, February, March. So if you don't want to switch at the beginning of the year, then switch at the beginning of April. This is a great time of year as well in July because we're at the start of the third quarter. Another good time of year to switch, or at the start of October, which is the beginning of Q4. So anytime we're going into a new quarter, the IRS is a little bit more friendly, and that would be my recommend. If you just have a couple of employees, honestly, moving over in the middle of a quarter is not as daunting as it seems. It's a little bit more data entry because the IRS gets a little fussier in an open quarter, but still not super challenging and something that Gusto can absolutely kind of hold your hand through it during the process.
If you're gonna, and I think we're gonna get into this when we start talking about how to like set things up and what that process looks like when you're switching or setting up a new payroll system. What is the timeline that you should give yourself? So let's say somebody wants to switch Q4 here, right at the cusp of Q3, Q4. They're like, yep, I know I got to switch payroll systems. And for a lot of us, Q4 kind of gets nuts. Like we all get super busy in Q4. So it's like, we don't want to take on too many projects, but August, September usually is quite a bit slower for us. A lot of our clients aren't thinking about employing us to pressure wash their house or clean their windows or do this landscaping project. Our clients are thinking about the last vacation of the summer and back to school stuff. So that tends to mean now that's a good time for us to do these extra projects that we maybe put off from the busy season. That was a really long ass way for me to word that question. Let me get back to the question. The question being, when, if somebody wants to switch between like Q3 and Q4, do they reach out to Gusto the week before? Like, should they reach out the month before? What's the kind of timeline that they should give themselves to make sure that it's up and running and like they've got everything they need to start in Q4?
Yeah, good question. Honestly, I think that a good timeline is whenever you run that last payroll of the quarter. So let's say you wanted to start your payroll on October 1st and you ran your last payroll in September on the 15th. You can run that last payroll, sign up for a Gusto account, and then get all that information because you're going to have all the details we ask for, which would be that last payroll in September. And it will probably take you maybe an hour and a half to set up the entire account from start to finish if you have all the information in front of you, and we'll go over what that is. And then it takes my team 24 to 48 hours to approve the account once it's completed. I suggest a little bit of a longer window just in case we have questions. Maybe you forgot an apostrophe in your name and we want to make sure that what we have matches what the IRS has. As Dan mentioned, you never want to confuse or ignore the IRS. So we want to just make sure that everything looks compliant and right as rain. So in a kind of longer case scenario, I'd say give yourself 3 full days.